On today's show, we are delighted to have Mr. Gates here for an exclusive interview to discuss his response to recent white-collar crime accusations. Once again, Mr. Gates, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
I would like to begin by asking you to explain, in your own words, the details of the latest lawsuit regarding business monopoly.
Well, my partners and I have gotten together and developed software that is now capitalized on the computer software market. And now everyone seems to think that we are trying to monopolize the web browsing industry.
Mr. Gates, although you have stated you and your partners are not in the business of creating and developing monopolies, how is it that you have successfully become the business leaders of the computer software industry?
Well, it's like I said, my partners and I have created innovative new software that people are now preferring to use.
I'd like to also take this opportunity to ask you some questions related to Larry Ellison, CEO of Oracle Corporation. You know him pretty well, correct?
Yeah.
I recently spoke with Mr. Ellison, and he didn't seem to have your same opinion on how innovative your products are. Do you have a response to this opinion?
Well, what did he have to say?
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
So what's new about what Microsoft is doing, or is this just an extension of what Microsoft calls Hatch's anti-Microsoft campaign?
Well, what's new is nothing's new. Microsoft continues to do what they always do, which is to keep the price of Windows high and copy other people's software and just add it to Windows. That is the absolute opposite of innovation, and Bill claiming that's innovation. I guess it is innovation in business practice. It's anti-innovation in technology. And it's important that everyone understand what Microsoft's strategy is. The price of every PC component, from memory chips to keyboards, has gone down. PC components get better and cheaper except for Windows. Its price keeps going up. Microsoft's strategy: keep the price of Windows high, copy other people's software, just add it to Windows.
Sir, what did you feel about the fact that Bill Gates or Steve Ballmer or somebody representing Microsoft wasn't at the hearing table with you, responding to?
Well, I think the reason Bill wasn't here and Microsoft wasn't here is self-evident. They don't have good answers for these allegations. Senator Hatch invited them, invited Microsoft. Microsoft said they couldn't go because they were being investigated by the Justice Department. And Senator Hatch said, "Well, just nominate some friendly witnesses." And I guess Microsoft couldn't find anyone.
What has Mr. Gates said when you've spoken to him personally?
Bill and I don't talk much personally anymore.
Should the government antitrust activities focus on breaking up Microsoft?
Well, I think there are a couple of solutions. I mean, Windows has become a common carrier. You have to buy Windows. Everyone has got 97% market share. All the software that people need runs on Windows and only runs on Windows. Everyone has to buy Windows. Since everyone has to buy Windows, it's become a common carrier. So Microsoft has an incredible stranglehold on the computer industry. Their strategy of copying other people's software, like Netscape's Navigator internet browser, and just adding it to Windows is devastating. Microsoft keeps the price of Windows high. They're the only supplier in the world of Windows. They copy other people's software, add it to Windows. That's got to be regulated, or better yet, we need two suppliers of Windows. The best thing I can think of would be to break Microsoft in half and let Microsoft compete with Microsoft. Give them both copies of Windows, and let's have two suppliers of Windows. Let's have real competition. Microsoft A competes with Microsoft B. Maybe Steve Ballmer and Bill Gates can compete.
If Microsoft's behavior is so egregious, why is it that the public overwhelmingly supports its stock and in polls said that they like the company?
Well, the public overwhelmingly supports the stock because Microsoft is unique in all the computer industry of being able to charge whatever they want for their products. Because Microsoft has a monopoly, because you have to buy Windows to run any of the software you use, everyone's stuck buying Windows. Microsoft charges premium prices. Microsoft's profits are breathtaking. Any investor would find that attractive.
But do you think the public firmly understands this whole circumstance?
I don't think the public understands what Microsoft is doing with their monopoly. I don't think the public, the public fully appreciates that all the innovation in the internet came from Netscape. I mean, Netscape delivered the most innovative product in the 1990s, the internet browser. That was Netscape that built the internet browser. That was Netscape that introduced the world to the internet. All Microsoft did was copy it and add it to Windows. They copied it, changed its name, called it Explorer, added it to Windows. So anyone who buys Windows now gets stuck with Explorer whether they want it or not. It's plugged in. It's a part of it. Was this innovation? This was just the opposite. It was an attempt to destroy the innovator of the Internet, Netscape. Microsoft intends to continue using the strategy to stifle innovation and reward innovation with failure, and that's what they're trying to do by attacking Netscape.
So you see this as a fight for the future of the Internet?
I see this as a fight for the future of innovation. You can have innovation around the world, or you can have innovation.
Regardless of media publicity and PR announcements, I think viewers would really like to hear your opinion, Mr. Gates, on how the trials surrounding the web browser industry is proceeding.
Well, the first hearing did not go too well, so we decided to appeal it.
And what was the outcome of this appeal?
Well, we had to settle for a plea bargain. Basically, now we are required to share the application programming interfaces of Windows to other companies. We also have to have a panel that monitors our corporation to make sure that we don't keep other companies out of creating new software for Windows.
And lastly, Mr. Gates, now that your company is not being forced to divide itself, what will be your next step in the ever-growing technology industry?
Well, since Microsoft is no longer allowed to monopolize the software industry, we're going to have to try to move into other areas. For example, in a few years, we will probably try to create an innovative new video game console, but it won't be innovative at all since it'll be practically the same thing as PlayStation and other video game consoles. But while we are developing that, we will probably try to monopolize the board gaming market. Check out this new product that we're about to release.
Hello, I'm Bill Gates, the richest man in the world with the cheapest haircut. Ever wonder what it's like to own a humongous corporation worth over $447 billion? Well, now you can with my exciting new board game, Microsoft Monopoly. Now you too can experience the joy of buying people and crushing competition just like I do. Just roll the binary dice and move your player piece, which is in the shape of a boot to make it easier to stomp on the little people who get in your way. When you land on a property, you buy it and put up a house, but it has to have windows. When other players land on your property, they must pay rent. How much can you charge? Whatever you want. It's a monopoly. A monopoly is a beautiful thing. You may also land on Take a Chance. Go directly to Apple Computer, buy them and crush them. Collect $100 million. Get out of antitrust jail free. I'll keep this one for later just in case. You can land on any number of properties. Bills Boulevard, Nerd Street, Windows Place, Gates Walk, Redmond Railroad, Four Eyes Lane, Greedy Bugger Avenue, and Netscape. But since somebody else owns Netscape, you just buy up the properties on either side and squeeze. Microsoft Monopoly is fun for the whole family. You'll have hours of enjoyment crushing them and bullying them into bankruptcy. You might even land on community chests. This is your lucky day. Collect $2, then use it for a haircut. I love this game. So buy Microsoft Monopoly version 2.1. It won't be outmoded until tomorrow when you'll have to buy the 2.2 upgrade. At Microsoft, we put the trust in antitrust.